What's up, guys? My name is Rachel, and I'm the CEO of MindStrong Fitness, a multi-six-figure, soon-to-be seven-figure online business that I grew 400% in just 8 months. And the purpose of this content is to teach you to do the exact same thing, but in much less time. Now, today we're going to talk about a topic that sounds very controversial in a way, and I'm going to start with a bold statement, and then I'm going to clarify because it's not as black and white as it sounds. So the bold statement is this: we don't ever offer discounts. You will never ever, when it comes to I'm talking about our signature 12-week program, Mind Strong Ignite. You will never see us offer a Black Friday sale, a flash sale, a discount code, whatever it is. Now, smaller priced items, if we're selling our cookbook or our Nutrition Made Easy bundle, sure, we discount that stuff because that stuff, as your business grows, you'll learn there's certain products are not in it for the money. And that sounds kind of weird when you're running a business, but lower price item, if I'm selling a $27 item, my goal is to not get wealthy off of a $27 item. Those items have a different purpose, which we'll talk about in later episodes, and it's to get people into our pipeline, into our funnel. When I'm talking about our services for the purposes of today's conversation, I'm talking about our money makers, our big ticket items, our 12-week programs, our one-to-one coaching, all that stuff. You will never, ever, ever see it discounted. And there's a few reasons for that we're going to talk about today. But the thing I want to differentiate between is that does not ever mean, okay, so the blanket statement is we don't ever offer discounts. That does not mean that we don't ever offer our services at a lower price point, right? And now half of you are shaking your head saying, what the hell, Rachel? You just completely contradicted yourself. Here's what this means. In my mind, and you might not agree, other business owners will say this is just, we're nitpicking here, but to me, there's a massive difference. There is a huge difference between seeing something going on sale, between knowing that something is up for negotiation, between knowing that you can get a discount on something, and being offered a scholarship. In my mind, those are two completely separate entities that don't exist in the same world. So, in the world of Black Friday sales and 24-hour flash sales and discount codes, to me, that cheapens things, right? And again, doesn't mean we don't ever use them on smaller price things, because I'm not in those for the money. You don't have to take this seriously to invest $19 in a cookbook, right? If I'm asking you for $19 for a cookbook, or $9 for a cookbook, or $27 for a cookbook, I don't need you to be emotionally invested and ready to jump off a cliff to buy that cookbook. You want the cookbook, get the cookbook. You don't want the cookbook, don't buy the cookbook. But when we're talking about a higher ticket item, when we're talking about our time, our energy, our investment as coaches, I need you to be ready to go. I need you to feel that sting of jumping off the cliff and investing in yourself. And the way that my mind works, and there's a lot of business owners that will agree with this and some that won't, is the second that we start offering discounts and promo codes and flash sales, it just cheapens it. Because at that point, what you're telling people is our product isn't really worth what we're saying it's worth. And if you just wait for the right time, you can get a discount on it. The other thing it does is it opens up the door for negotiation, right? And again, there's a purpose. If you haven't listened to the earlier episodes about the sting that clients need to feel to be emotionally invested, that if you haven't sacrificed for something, chances are you're not going to take it seriously. And if you present your price and you stand in your power and you say, here you go, like, yeah, I'm above the market industry because I am doing what no one else in this industry is doing. But they know that all their best friend had to do was ask for that 40% discount and they got it. Why would they ever make that leap? Why would they ever feel that sting? Of course, they're going to ask for the discount because you've already put the message out there that our prices are negotiable. So to me, from a mindset, from a marketing, from a standing in your power, for your client's sake, also the fact that they need to feel that sting to be emotionally invested. I will never, ever, ever offer discounts for our higher ticket items because of the emotional investment that takes. Now, as I said in the beginning, that does not mean that we don't ever offer our programs at a lower price point. The biggest differentiating factor to me is that this is not something A, that we advertise, or B, that is open to anyone, right? It's not like, come to MindStrong Fitness, you can get a scholarship if you ask for it, because at that point it is a discount code. It's no different. We're just not, putting posts on social media about it. What we reserve scholarships for are individuals that we know could absolutely crush this program and are just currently in a financial situation where asking them to make that leap is just not going to happen. Right. And these are very hand selected. This almost becomes more of an intuitive thing. So I'll give you a personal example. The way that we launch, as of the time of this recording, the way that we launch Ignite, our 12-week program, is we do a free 5-day challenge leading up to it. It's called MindStrong Kickstart. It is 5 days just packed and packed and packed with content. In those 5 days, we're going live inside a private group for 90 minutes every day. 90 minutes, 5 days a week. And then there's another week of interviews with alumni. You get to know people in the group pretty well, right? Even if we're not seeing their faces, we're hearing their comments, we're having conversations with them. You get a vibe for who's in that group. And it usually happens that there's a handful of people. It's not a ton of people. Again, this is hand selected, but there's a handful of people who are just showing up. They're being active. They're doing the work that we give them. They're collaborating. They're becoming a part of the family. And then when the time comes and we say, hey, we noticed you didn't sign up for Ignite, what's going on? You hear their story. Stories in the past, there was one, we work 99% with women, but every once in a while a man comes in, and I personally love it because men lose weight faster than women. So their before and after pictures are killer for them and for us. It's a win-win. But, there was one gentleman we worked with whose wife had passed away a few years ago. And at this point, he was living paycheck to paycheck and going to the gym 3 times a day just to get his head right. But he wasn't seeing results because he didn't know the nutrition piece. Like, I was literally in tears reading this guy's story. In what world am I not offering that man a scholarship? This man needed us. He was going through the hardest hardship of his life. He was putting in the work at the gym. He wasn't seeing the result because he needed that education piece. And the reality is he just lost his wife. Like, there are bigger fish for him to fry than getting himself a higher paying job at the moment. Of course, we're going to offer him a scholarship, right? We've had other people with similar circumstances without such a heartfelt story, but it's the same idea. There's something going on in their life where they're not saying, I can't do it. They're not saying it's impossible for me, right? Because we hear that all the time. I just can't. I can't afford it. Hearing I can't afford it like puts the red flag up that maybe the mindset isn't in the right place. But when you hear these stories of people who are truly in a place where it's not a money mindset, where it's not just, we have some work to do on getting you to think bigger, where it's not just about you got to feel that sting and jump off the cliff. It's a legitimate X, Y, and Z is going on in my life. I would love nothing more than to give you 100% of me. And the situation it's not the time. In those situations, you make a judgment call. Maybe you choose not to offer scholarships in your program. Every once in a while we do, and they're very hand selected. But again, to me, these are 2 totally different conversations. These scholarships are hand selected, they're individual. And the part that I say is kind of intuitive is that I'm listening to, it's almost a vibe I get from this person. And again, when we talk about vibes, this is not like hippie woo woo. We talk about quantum physics. There are vibrations in the air, right? If you listen to someone's words, you can start to learn their mindset. If they start telling you the 10 bills they have due and the million reasons they can't afford it, that has nothing to do with your program, right? This person is saying, I can't afford it to everything in their life. And not to say they can afford it, right? In their mind, they cannot afford it. And if you've done mindset work around money, you know that as long as you continue to say, I can't afford it, you won't be able to afford it. There are and by the way, if you're not someone who's done the money mindset, then this conversation is probably pissing you off because you're taking everything I'm saying as, well, you don't know their real situation. That is not my intention. I am not sitting here saying that people do not have financial hardships, that there are very real situations that lead to people not being able to afford your program. What I am saying is that the vast majority of human beings on this earth have limited belief systems about money. And the more you repeat cycles such as I can't afford it, you'll never be able to afford it. When you start to change your thinking and your verbiage to how can I afford this? How can I make this work? You're going to watch your life explode. And that's a different conversation, and one that we will have, because as entrepreneurs, that's a game changer. You cannot be a successful entrepreneur if the answer out of your mouth is I can't afford it for every single thing, because they're being an entrepreneur is jumping off cliffs all the time. The stuff you are asking your clients to do, to make a leap, to invest in something that your mind wants to say I can't fully afford yet, that is being an entrepreneur. And until you get comfortable doing that, you won't be successful, because it's scary as shit and it's all day, every day. But the good news is the more you get used to those leaps, the more you start to crave them because you see the results that come. That's kind of a side tangent. Anyway, my point being, If you're not someone who's done the mindset work around money, then a lot of what I'm saying is going to be misconstrued. You're going to potentially take it as me neglecting or discounting the real hardships these people are going through. And that is not my intention. Most of America is going through financial hardships. Most people have limited beliefs about money. This is not meant to discount that. It's meant to say that there is work to do. The people who still have major work to do around money, even those people sometimes get scholarships. This is not a black and white, all in, all out type of situation. My point is, when I say there's an element of intuition to it, it's I'm listening to their words. I'm listening to their commitment. I'm listening to how bad do they want this? Is saying I can't afford it a cop out because they're scared? Or is this person literally everything but banging on my door to get in the program, but X, Y, and Z has happened in their life and it's just not the time. This is not the time to prioritize this program over funeral bills or hospital bills or whatever else is going on in their life. To me, that is a very different conversation than discounts, because the message to me that is being sent out when you have flash sales, when you have 24-hour flash sales, when you do Black Friday discounts, when you do discount codes for your main programs, you are saying, one, it's negotiable. You're saying, two, it's not really worth what I'm asking. And three, you're saying you don't really need to feel that sting and jump off the cliff. You just got to wait for the right time. Just time it. Just hold off. Right. And if you have a program that's not open year round, or even if you do, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot, because why would anyone sign up any other time of year once they learn they can just wait for this discount? All of that said, to me, the biggest hardship or the biggest reason that I don't do discounts is because of that sting. If you didn't listen to the earlier episodes where we talked about the fact that, I am never, ever a fan of setting your pricing according to the industry standard. I am a fan of setting your pricing according to what you are truly offering, the value of the life transformation you're making. And then you stand in your freaking power, and it is what it is. And the people who are your people will come to you with the right marketing, the right messaging. And the people who will continue to live in their mindset of I can't afford it are not your people. And to me, when you discount and you take away that sting, you lose those clients. Right now, you attract the people who are just looking for a deal. And as we talked about in those earlier episodes, the people who are coming to you because you're the cheapest are not the people who are going to get the results. In fact, the total opposite. Those are the people who are going to tarnish your brand, because they're going to drop off after 2-3 weeks. And now it's not just, oh, that program wasn't successful for me. It's, oh, that program isn't successful. Hard stop. And the analogy I used in those earlier episodes, if I buy a pair of headphones and they suck, I'm not just going to say, oh, that specific type of headphone sucks. I'm going to say that brand of headphone sucks. And that's what you're doing to your business when you're bringing in the wrong clients. And for most of us, the wrong clients are the clients who are just looking for those discounts, for the cheapest deals. So, personal opinion, not everyone in the business world and the fitness world will agree with this. I stand true in it. It's what I've done probably since year 2 and what I plan to do indefinitely. I will never offer a discount on our higher ticket in coaching items. Again, this doesn't apply to those lower ticket items that we're just there to get you into our system and to give you some help and dip your toe in the water. Whether or not you choose to do hand selected scholarships is totally up to you. My suggestion, if you do them, be picky, listen to your intuition. That takes a bit of time to start to learn to trust that. And when you do offer it, you ask that it stay one-to-one, right? Even if they don't take it, the first thing I say to someone is, I'm going to offer you something we don't advertise, and we definitely don't offer to everyone. Whether you take it or not, I just ask that it stay between us. And the point of that is not to be sneaky. It's to not piss anyone off, right? Because it's not it is not anyone else's business what their story is, right? Nobody else in our Ignite program knew that this man lost his wife and was going to the gym 3 days a week, and his nutrition they don't need to know it. That's his business if he wants to share a story. It's not mine. But if Joe Schmo next in line for Ignite hears that this man got a scholarship and he didn't, what do I say to him, right? Without telling this other man's business, how do I explain that? So when you do scholarships, you always want to make sure that the person understands this is also that intuitive piece. There has to be that trust factor there, that it's going to stay between you. Again, not to piss anyone off, but to keep that nurturing side of the scholarship to what it is. So this is one of those conversations, it's easy to say, it's harder to do in the moment. When you're newer to this, when you're building a business, and part of building a business is constantly being told it's too expensive, the gut reaction is to discount. Well, what if I could do it for this? What if I could do it for this? And as we talked about in earlier episodes, you're going to drive your pricing into the ground until you're burned out and your business goes under. This is the reason most coaches don't make it past a side hustle, because when you get into a bidding war, you are doing your brand a disservice and you're never going to make it past that side hustle. Set your pricing according to what you're offering. Stand firm in your power. In my opinion, do not offer discounts. If you want to offer scholarships, they're one-to-one. Most importantly is that you understand the worth of what you're doing, so that when you speak that truth to other people, they can feel it just as strongly as you believe it.